Nathaniel, I don't typically leave feedback this way, but I've hit a wall with typing student comments, so I'm going to speak about your work here really quick. Um, in general, I think you're using too many rhetorical questions in your writing. Instead, write declarative statements that relay information. Oftentimes, rhetorical questions are just kind of filler. So avoid that. Certainly don't do it in your topic sentences, which should hold the main idea of the body's paragraph. It's a very important sentence to be very precise in. When you're paraphrasing or summarizing, just know that you're putting the author's work in your own ideas, and I'm sure you know that already, but typically it's going to take more than a sentence. All right. So it should occupy about half of the paragraph. Um, So what you've done here is a little unclear. It's like it's all of this summary. If all of this is summary, then you just need the citation right here. And then if all of this is summary, well, then you should follow it up with as much writing. Um, so just make sure that the source integration you're doing, you're giving adequate emphasis to what you've reported by supplying enough breakdown and analysis and discussion after the fact. So it should be roughly even, I think, but you know, it just depends on the paragraph. Um, Somewhere up in here, you needed a signal phrase to show the reader that you've begun reporting from that particular source. Make sure you're spelling his name right, your source's name's right. Now, so probably beyond this, right here, you're probably reporting, so you need a signal phrase to indicate that you've begun relaying an idea that you've read. You do not need to give a comma or a page number for this particular source because it's an unpaginated or no page numbered source that's from the web. Again, you need to follow a paraphrase up with adequate discussion. So one sentence past it is not enough. To that end, I strongly recommend that you review the sample writing that I'm providing for you guys. It can be found at the top of each new week, the Tux writing file. And here's my model for that. As you can see here, I got about a half of a paragraph of summary, and then about a half a paragraph of breakdown or discussion. Make sure you begin each summary or paraphrase with a signal phrase, and you end it with a citation. Also here I've got a model prompt for the quote. Here's how I did one of the quotes. I got Paulsen's name and a signal phrase, and enough writing before that quote to make it read cleanly. This was the fragment quote, by the way, which required a little bit of finesse to get it in there properly. But anyway, this one here. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to look at your quotes. You need a signal phrase up in here. Go ahead and give me a Paulsen states or says or something. You do not need a QTD here. All you need is Paulsen. With this one, again, you need a signal phrase. Again, you need a signal phrase. So make sure you're giving signal phrases before your quotes. You do not need a QTD. The only one you do need a QTD in is this last one. And you only do that when you're quoting one of your sources. Don't refer to the quotes this way. Instead, you should have said something like, according to a French utilities worker, comma, Corinne Meyer, comma, in her estimation, comma, image counts more than product more, whatever this quote says, okay? Period. This leads one to believe that as long as okay? But you would need this right there after the quote if you ended the sentence there. This is not an adequate works cited citation. It's missing the article title. Oh, well, no, it is here, but for some reason you hyphenated it and not capitalized anything. So don't do it that way. Give a full URL, not just a piece of it. There are no page numbers, but look, I don't know that I specifically asked that you cite, and it should say works cited with a big C and no second I and no colon. I don't remember if I asked that you cite it, but make sure you're following your MLA model for work on a website, and that would be in your MLA chapter. But we're going to work more on this, and I'm going to help you with your future papers. Don't write command statements. Make sure you're avoiding yous and yours and I's. I don't think I saw any of those, but a command statement has an implied you. I appreciate in these quotes that you're following them up with discussion. I like this one. I like that one. So make sure there's adequate writing before and after the quotes, and don't forget those signal phrases, and follow your guidelines for what goes into the in-text citation.